Hello, everyone. I would request just everyone to please switch on your cameras. Hi, Yash. Thank you for joining.
We should give a prize of sorts to Yash, right? Yash, you're the first one to have the camera on. Kudos. Well done, man. If I could send you virtual 5-star, I would. No, real 5-star, I would. Virtual, I can certainly give you.
For the flash.
Okay, while people are joining in, I'm just curious. I'm assuming all those who are joining in are from different parts of the country. Is that correct?
Uh, Not exactly, sir. Actually, Sienna is like our basically they are our donor. Like along with whom we are doing this our CSR activity. So they have just asked us to like collaborate with colleges based out of Delhi NCR only.
Okay.
So, like the students that are have participated in these workshops and all are
Well,
98% of them are from the Delhi NCR region, because like we got some of the applications from southern part as well. So yeah, like most of them are
okay.
from, yeah, yes.
Okay, cool. I was one of the founding directors at Bennett University. I'm just sharing with others. It'll be great to hear some voices. Which university are you from? Just name some. I'd love to
Sure, sir.
hear.
Guys, please,
Anyone,
yeah.
go ahead. Just you name of your university. Where are you from?
Hello, sir. Very good afternoon.
Ayash?
Sir, I'm from the IT University, Maharaja Agreshan College.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you. Others, just quick hello.
Hello, sir.
Name. Yeah,
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Abhishek here. I am from IP University, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth College of Engineering.
got it. Thank you, Abhishek. Okay.
Hello,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
Sir, I'm from IPU University.
Harsh, your voice is breaking. Not sure I picked that up.
Hello.
Yeah, try again, Harsh.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I'm
Myself,
from
Amit.
IPU University.
IP. Okay, great, Harsh. IP, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Myself,
Good
Amit,
afternoon,
and
sir.
I am
I'm also
from
from
DTU.
DTU. Okay. By the way, that's my alma mater.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
afternoon, sir. I'm Nikhil, and I'm also from IT University,
Okay.
Maharaja Surajmal
Yes.
Institute of Technology.
Okay. Welcome. Few others. All engineering so far, right? Yep. Tech for change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Most of them are from the engineering background.
Yep.
So, we have partnered with 10 different colleges based out of Delhi NCR, and I'll just name it for you, like keeping it very simple. Like most of them are IP affiliated universities. We have Maharaja Agreshan Institute of Technology (MAIT), Maharaja Surajmal Institute of Technology, and we have Vivekanand Institute of Professional Studies (WIPS). We have Delhi Technological University. We
Correct.
have Guru Tej Bahadur Institute of Technology. We have Jamia Millia Islamia University, and we
And
have got
NSIT. Somebody just introduced themselves.
NSUT, NSUT, yes, sir.
NSUT.
Netaji
Yeah.
Subhash Chandra University of Technology.
Mm.
So that is also there, and then we have IIT Delhi as well, and then we have like Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering. That is also there, and like we got other applications from IIT Kanpur, APJ Satya University, Gurgaon, and like other colleges based out
Okay.
of Delhi NCR as well, sir.
None from Bennett, huh? Interesting.
No, sir, none from Bennett. Yeah.
Okay, so we are more than 5 minutes into it, Saurav.
Yes, sir.
10
Yes,
minutes,
sir. Yes, sir.
almost 10 minutes, in fact. Shall
Yeah,
we
yeah.
begin?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Let me just give them a brief about you, sir, and then
Okay.
like I'll just hand it over to you.
Sure.
So I welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining. Like we have gathered here for this wonderful workshop on the topic of segmenting and targeting. So we have our speaker here, our resource person and the consultant, Mr. Ajay Batra. So let me just give you a brief about like what he has been doing so far. So he has over of 25 years of expertise in starting and scaling up his own business and guiding other ventures in their journey of discovery and growth. With hundreds of workshops, dozens of articles, and two acclaimed books, Mr. Batra offers consulting and mentoring services to ventures around the globe. He's also the CEO of Unicorn Growth Partners, a startup and a funding firm. So, yes, sir. And like, I'll just welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward for a fruitful interaction that we are going to have today. And over to you, sir. Please excuse me, like if I have missed something or said incorrectly. So,
No,
yeah.
all good, Saurav. Thank you. That was very kind words that you
Thanks.
used. Thank you again. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you, of course, to NASCOM Foundation, not just for the program today or the session today, but overall continuing to invest in our youth and showing them a great and exciting pathway forward. Of course, I'm super excited to engage with all the students who are on the call because the program, what it's trying to do, and the kind of ideas you bring to the table, and I have looked at some ideas. Uh, I'm really impressed by both your commitment and your desire to bring about real change. So, folks, congratulations for being in the program. Congratulations for showing interest and commitment. It's the end of the week. I know you may have a lot of things on your mind. Finals around the corner, perhaps. Yes, guys, finals. This is
Yes,
finals
sir.
time, right?
Yeah.
So double thanks, double thanks for taking the time out. So let's jump into it, and let me know if my presentation is
Sure, sir.
visible.
I'm just stopping my screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. One more time. Okay, all visible?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. This program, of course, has a theme around it, which is around positioning and segmentation and all that. But let me assure you, what we're discussing today and what you've already discussed and what you will discuss in the coming weeks, eventually it's about taking your ideas forward and giving them life. And we are interested in, of course, helping you channelize your passion and create something that is lasting. There is a lot of excitement around new ventures, startups, but not much is talked about in terms of how startups are not meant to be short lived, but are supposed to have enduring, lasting value. So we want to do that. We want to make sure you build something that not only stays with you, but has a great impact on the society around you. And that's what really is exciting. Our focus, of course, is right here. We will get there in many, many different ways. We are hopefully also trying to build on the previous workshops you've done. You might see a little bit of repetition, a little bit of overlap, but slowly we're going to take the needle forward as you go along. So lots to discuss. We will step back a little bit We will get a big picture view of where are we in the whole startup conversations. Some bit of funding we'll talk about. Of course, the focus here is tech for change, tech for bringing about good impact and change in society. So social impact certainly is our conversation. And what does marketing mean for social impact enterprises? Are social enterprises pursuing profit or should they pursue profit? We'll have those conversations. And of course, we will get into some bit of early marketing and segmentation. This will continue on, which is why the last topic, last bullet here is really marketing preparation. There's a lot more to be done. Once we have an understanding of segments and positioning, how do you take it forward and really make sure your startup comes alive? We'll continue talking perhaps in a few days. Just like you were doing very quick introductions, I'd love for you to keep your mics on. I would prefer that you speak rather than type in the chat. If your camera is on, great. Even if the camera is not on, please, please, please keep the mic on. There's a lot of conversation we're going to have today. This is not a typical one-way workshop. We will talk about ideas, concepts, but largely it's about practical stuff. We want to make sure you get an understanding of how you can bring your idea, take your idea forward and bring it to life. But before you go forward, like I said, big picture. And I'd like to actually start with a little quiz. And of course, you will get virtual chocolates for being the first one. And you have to respond on the mic. Don't type your answer, please. Okay, here's a quick quiz. You have to guess who this person is. Anyone?
Azim Premji.
Okay, excellent. Bang on. First response on target. Little easy one, I must tell you, but it's okay. I'm warming you up. So what's so special about Mr. Premji? Anyone? Who is he, by the way? Devansh, who is he?
Founder of Wipro.
Correct. But does anybody know his story? How he became the chairman, CEO of Wipro? Does anybody know? Does anyone know what does Wipro do today? What do they do today? What is their business?
I know a story about a village of millionaires that Wipro got money.
Sir,
Sir,
you're
you
on mute, sir. Ajay sir, you're on mute, I guess.
I'm on mute. Excellent. I thought I could hear others. Thank you. Sorry, did I miss your story? Somebody was talking about story on Mr. Premji.
Yes, sir. Actually, I was telling about that. I know something about a village of millionaires. That the villagers of Mr. Premji invested in Wipro to start the company,
Yes,
and everyone holds some shares in the Wipro, and they got like millionaires after some time.
correct, correct. And you are, and there's so much more that's going on. I've had the good fortune of working with Mr. Premji for 4 or 5 years. The most interesting bit is when he inherited the company from his dad. You know what business Wipro was in? It was not IT. You want to guess? What is the original business of Wipro? Anyone? Anyone? Take a guess. Cars, furniture,
sir, I guess
clothes,
glossary.
grocery,
I heard. I'm
grocery.
not
Okay.
completely aware, but I heard about
Okay.
glossary
Okay.
something.
It's a wild guess. It's a wild guess. Some more guesses. Okay. One more guess. Grocery, clothes, fashion, non-tech, anything? No? Most people are surprised to know that Wipro actually
Tires.
used. You're getting there. It wasn't tires, but you're getting there. Close. On the right track. One more guess.
Rubber.
Okay, so deep चले गए हम लोग. They actually used to make soaps and oils. Wipro was a soaps and oil company till Mr. Premji took over. And that's when he transformed it and made it this big IT company that it is today. Not only that, not only Mr. Premji known for what he did to Wipro, he runs a great foundation. And again, I've had the privilege of working with the foundation for many, many years, called the Azim Premji Foundation. It's the largest foundation in India focused on bringing about change in the quality of our education. The education focused foundation is what he's working on. So his favorite quote is, "I earn money from Wipro, so I can give more money to Azim Premji Foundation so that our children can learn better." Very, very interesting, fascinating. There are lots of stories. At one point, about 10 years ago, he actually was the richest man in India, ahead of Mukesh Ambani. And even then, when I would go for meetings with him, he would come in a 5-year-old Toyota Corolla, not a fancy car. And he says, "That's who I am." Very fascinating, very humble man. Um, very good to know and very, very inspiring. Okay, who's the next person on the slide? Little hard. Take a stab. Either the person's name or her organization. Anyone? No? It's a little harder. Certainly harder than Wipro. Jacqueline is the founder of Acumen. Acumen is world's largest supporter of social enterprises. They provide capital and on-ground support to social entrepreneurs around the world. Very noble, very committed, and very well known for the work Acumen does. Okay, who's this? This should be easy. Okay, hint. I'll give you a hint. Hint is Bangladesh.
Oh, that Grameen Bank founder.
Correct. So Dr. Muhammad Yunus, who is a Nobel laureate, he holds a Nobel Prize for bringing microfinance to the world, really. He's called the father of microfinance. He started out by giving loans to people who no bank would entertain. People wanted a 4,000, 3,000 rupee loan and nobody would talk to them. That's when he realized that the poor needed the money to become better at what they were doing. And hence the whole microfinance industry stood up. So Mohammed Yunus again is a great story, Grameen Bank, and continues to inspire others around the world. All right, this lady, a little different from all the others. Either you know her or you know her company's name. I guarantee you.
Maddie. Some Maddie
Uh-huh.
May. Maddie
What,
May.
what company?
सर कंपनी के तो ना पता नहीं है.
अच्छा चलिए आप कंपनी गेस करिए, मैं हिंट देता हूँ आपको. कंपनी का नाम गेस करिए. डेटिंग ऐप.
Tinder. Bumble.
Getting there. There you go.
It's in the picture, I guess, sir. Bumble.
पीछे लिखा हुआ है ना. हाँ, correct.
Yes, sir, yes.
अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो hint is right there. Good point. So very interesting. Bumble, of course, is a dating app. It's a commercial entity, but she started Bumble to make dating safer for women. That was her first motive behind starting Bumble. There's so many dating apps, right? She said, "I want to create something which is a safe space for women." So very interesting. For different kinds of people, different age group, different gender, different kinds of things they do. What I want you to tell me, what's common between these people? Let's hear some voices.
So they have the vision to create something innovative.
Okay, very good. Visionary, innovative creation. Excellent, Amit. Thank you. What else? Even though they are in very different worlds, from microfinance to dating to IT to supporting social entrepreneurs.
Sir, they all have some social angle to bring poor to great life or good love.
Okay. Maybe not poor, but they have this angle to help people's lives. Right, Abhishek? Thank you. Not always poor. Bumble is not necessarily for economically backward, but Grameen Bank is for sure. Okay. What else?
Sir, they all also have a problem statement to start with, I think.
They're really trying to solve some problem out there. Very right. So good answers. All of these are correct answers. Uh, the different words people use to describe them. You use visionary, you talked about problem solvers, you talked about people who change society. All very valid word. And if you notice, I did not just talk about Paytm founder and Zerodha founder and Ola founder or Zomato founder. Of course, they're also in their own way, all of these. But there's a distinction I'm trying to make here. That ultimately we are talking about somebody who's an entrepreneurial leader. It actually doesn't matter whether you're 100% pure profit or maybe a mixed breed out there. Or like Mr. Premji, he's corporate on one side, pure profit, if you will, and completely not for profit on the other side with the foundation. So different formulae exist if you want to change the world. And why? Because let me tell you, there are so many reports, and these reports actually have become more thanks to all the AI revolution, chat GPT in the last couple of years. You know what they say? That in 10 years, the kind of jobs we will be doing, 50% of the jobs don't even exist today. So there are two messages. New jobs are getting created and existing jobs are vanishing. So we have to be entrepreneurial. And entrepreneurship is not just about starting businesses. It's about understanding the needs of the world and trying to find a solution to it. Be the change maker as you saw earlier. So please, folks, wherever you take your current idea, wherever you may take it all the way, you may not want to. Trust me, you will learn key skills that will help you in life. When I go to campuses to do a lot of hiring on behalf of startups. When I'm out there on campuses, one of the things in my mind is, okay, I'm hiring from a B.Tech program. Maybe I'm looking for computer scientists. Maybe I'm looking for full stack developers. ठीक है, वो सब सही है. On top of that, मैं पूछता हूँ, is this person entrepreneurial? Can this person take initiative? Can this person solve problems? Can this person overcome hurdles? These are all playing in my mind when I select. And trust me, everybody out there is looking for this. So, folks, you're on the right track. Of course, like I said, आप जो भी इस program में करेंगे, great, but आपको career value add 100% मिलेगा. By the way, a little bit of Hindi English is okay, everyone, since most people are Delhi NCR. We're okay? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir, sure.
ठीक ठीक है. Thank you, Harshit. Thank you, Harshit. Okay, I want to introduce you to some friends I brought with me. Yeah, familiar?
Yes, sir, they are millions.
Yeah. So I brought my minion friends with me to help me convey some messages to you, and you'll see them coming in our workshop today. So here's two of them saying something about problem solving. You mentioned earlier, right? All those leaders were problem solvers. What are they saying? What is the message here? Anyone? What is the message here?
Fall in love with the problem and not with the solution.
ये तो आपने पढ़ लिया ना, मैसेज क्या है उसका? Yeah, that you're reading. What does it mean? बाकी लोग जो क्वाइट हैं वो भी प्लीज बोलें.
Sir, stick to the problem and you'll definitely find some solution.
ओके शिवांश, थैंक यू. तो उसका फायदा क्या है शिवांश, अगर आप प्रॉब्लम से इतना
Sir,
इंटीमेटली?
Sir, if we stick to one solution only, maybe or maybe not, we would success. But if we stick to the problem statement, we would definitely find some solution in that.
बिल्कुल सही शिवांश, 100%. And you know, all of you looks like from engineering discipline. हम ये scientific process आपको सिखाते हैं colleges में. That understand your problem statement. किसी भी एक problem के 8, 10, 15, 20 solution हो सकते हैं. Don't lock yourself into your solution too soon. You may try a solution, शायद नहीं चलेगा, right? Experiments करते हैं हम लोग, scientific experiments. Some work, some don't. You come and change your strategy. कुछ और try करते हैं. जितना हम प्रॉब्लम को समझेंगे उतने ही हम क्रिएटिव आइडियाज लेके आएंगे. एंड आई एम फ्लैगिंग अनदर प्रॉब्लम आई सी इन अ लॉट ऑफ टेक फाउंडर्स. They start building the tech product little too soon without really understanding the problem and the user and the customer and how it fits and who's the competition. They get so excited by the technology stack that they jump in. and I tell them, hold on, take your time. You really have to make sure the problem is well understood and articulated. I know you had a session, few sessions on problem statement. तो मैं आपको कुछ problems, ये actually real startup है. आपको पता लगेगा कौन सा startup है, अभी 2 मिनट में पता लग जाएगा. आप बताइए, on the screen आपको problem दिख रही है कि नहीं दिख रही है? Number 1 problem लग रही है आपको? ये problem statement लग रही है आपको? कोई भी बताइए.
नो सर,
क्या लग रहा है ये?
ये तो बस ऐसा मतलब प्रॉब्लम
It is offering.
ये तो offering है. Who said offering?
Sir,
Yeah.
Christmas.
हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली सॉल्यूशन है, ये ऑफरिंग है. इसमें प्रॉब्लम, ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट नहीं है. ये बताइए, ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट है?
नो सर,
क्या
नहीं है
साउंड कर
सर,
रहा है? क्या लग रहा है ये?
ये तो एडवाइस लग रही है सर.
एडवाइस ही है ये. एडवाइस मान लीजिए, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल 100% एडवाइस है ये. ये क्या लग रहा है आपको?
फैक्ट.
फैक्ट. थैंक यू. या ओपिनियन? सॉरी, गो अहेड. कोई और बोलना चाह रहा है? फैक्ट है, ओपिनियन है, बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने. ये एक्चुअली ये लोग एक्चुअली करते हैं. मेरे इंट्रोडक्शन में आपने शायद पकड़ा कि नहीं, आई एम ऑल्सो एन एंजल इन्वेस्टर. So on a regular basis, I listen to a lot of startup pitches. And let me tell you, friends, often founders struggle with this. उनके दिमाग में क्लियर है, बट वो बोल नहीं पाते. बोलते हैं सोल्यूशन निकलती है, एडवाइस निकलती है, ये जो अभी आप देख रहे हैं स्लाइड पे. प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट को क्लियरली आर्टिकुलेट करना इज अ स्किल. एंड यूजुअली when I ask for presentations for investment, that's the first slide. Slide number 1. Which problem are you solving? नंबर 4 क्या लग रही है आपको, बताइए. Does it sound like a problem?
No, sir.
क्या लग रहा है ये?
सर somewhat problem.
Yes, sir.
Problem.
This is actually the problem statement that this startup is addressing. आपको क्या लगता है? You're all college students. आपको लगता है ये real problem है आपके आसपास? कि लोग, people know up stocks में कैसे buy sell कैसे करना है, but long term investment, creating money, saving money, ये discipline है college students में?
नो सर, ये नॉलेज नहीं उनके पास कि कैसे करना है.
कैसे? वो तो टिप पे बोलते हैं, अच्छा आज ये खरीद लो, कल वो बेच दो. ये सुनते हैं बाकी लोगों से, राइट?
हाँ सर, बिल्कुल.
फेसबुक में ये बोला, रेडिट ने ये बोला, व्हाट्सएप में ये बोला, चलो खरीद लो या बेच लो. So folks, lesson number 1 of the day. Please, I've looked at some of your problem statements. Quite okay. Some are little mixture. उसमें problem भी है, solution भी है, problem भी है, fact भी है. बहुत लंबी problem statement भी देखी मैंने, एक 2 paragraph वाली. I want you to think about how you can state your problem in 1 to 2 lines only. ये skill है, ये आपके काम आएगा. As we said earlier, आप जितना problem को समझेंगे उतना आपका solution sharper होगा. Today's lesson number 1. Focus on your problem statement. And because this whole program is around tech for social change, tech for impacting lives, let's talk a little bit about it. I'm sure you discussed earlier. तो मैं आपसे ही पूछता हूँ, चलिए.
सर,
हम इतना हम हाँ बोलिए अमित.
सर आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
सर, आप अभी पिचेस के बारे में बता रहे थे. जो फाउंडर्स आपको जब पिच करते हैं तो आपको काफी मतलब वो एरर्स मिलते हैं. तो एज ए एंजल इन्वेस्टर वो आप क्या देखते हो पिचेस में कि जब आपको लगता है कि हाँ हमें इसमें इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, मतलब व्हाट डू यू लुक फॉर?
एक्सीलेंट क्वेश्चन. अमित थोड़ा होल्ड करिए, वो आ रहा है टॉपिक.
ओके सर.
आ रहा है. और अगर आई टॉक टू नेस्कॉम फाउंडेशन ऑल्सो, अगर इंटरेस्ट होगा हम इसके लिए स्पेशल सेशन भी कर सकते हैं, हाउ टू प्रिपेयर टू रेज फंड्स. फिलहाल आप लोग मुझे बताइए. अमित विल कम टू योर क्वेश्चन लिटिल लेटर. व्हाट इज अ सोशल एंटरप्राइज? बताइए. द होल प्रोग्राम इज अबाउट सोशल एंटरप्राइजेस. व्हाट इज इट?
Sir, a program that uplifts the social communities or some kind of a backward community.
Okay. So it helps some people become better in life. तो ये प्रोग्राम है, ये सोशल वर्क है, ये एनजीओ है, क्या है ये?
So this is like a mentality that a business should have, that they are trying to help some kind of, underprivileged community, or trying to uplift someone.
Excellent point. So देवांश आप क्या बोल रहे हैं, हर enterprise social enterprise बन सकता है?
Uh, so in one way or another, they can do some kind of social. They have some kind of social responsibility, but they cannot directly affect, uh, the social standings of every person that they come in contact with.
Okay, great conversation. Have we heard of the trip? Have you heard of the triple bot? Have you heard of bottom line and then triple bottom line? Anyone? Bottom line क्या चीज होती है कंपनी की? Typically हम बोलते हैं ना.
So that is the minimum revenue that the company needs to earn so that they can function well.
Profit, not revenue, but profit. Bottom line is profit.
Yes, sir.
Top line is revenue. ठीक है? तो profit है. हम ये पिछले काफी साल से एक रेवोल्यूशन चल रही है कि हम कंपनीज की सक्सेस मेजर करते हैं कितना प्रॉफिट कमाया आपने. इस साल 1000 कमाया, पिछले साल आपने 500 कमाया, तो 100% जंप हो गया. अगली बार आपका टारगेट है कि आप 50% ग्रोथ करें, जो भी है. ये दिस इज वन मेट्रिक, राइट? फाइनेंशियल सक्सेस. That's one. What we're also saying is there have to be two more areas in which every company can measure itself. One is profit, what I mentioned. Second is people. People who work with them, people who work around them, उनके communities, villages जहाँ पे वो काम कर रहे हैं. And third is planet. आप environment के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं, ये भी सोचिए साथ साथ. So ये बहुत अच्छी discussion है. Technically, every business can become a social enterprise. Although I'll tell you the reality. The reality is the priority. A social enterprise will lay higher priority on its social impact or environmental impact, and then profit. A commercial company may turn it around, that to a good commercial company. कहीं commercial company ये second part को भूल भी जाती है. I'll be honest with you. They're so interested in making money, they forget their responsibility towards people and planet and communities. But social enterprises are enterprises, which means they are meant to have a business model that gets them revenues. वो अगर 100, एक और एग्जांपल देता हूँ. और टिपिकल कॉर्पोरेट अगर 100 रुपए कमाएगा तो 100 रुपए अपनी जेब में ही रख लेंगे कि चलो अगले साल काम आएंगे. सोशल एंटरप्राइज पहले तो कमाएगा कम, बोले हम सिर्फ 50 कमाएंगे बिकॉज वी वांट टू सेल एट रीजनेबल प्राइस. दूसरा, ये जो 50 बचा है हमारा, ये हम थोड़ा कंपनी के लिए रख लेंगे, थोड़ा हम कम्युनिटी में इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं दोबारा. So they are making money because they have to survive, unless you're dependent on donations and grants and all of those. And that's also yet another business model. So there are multiple ways to build a social enterprise. Super commercial with a layer of social, core social with a layer of commercial, and you can do a pure social with no commercial if you were to become a Section 25, which is a not-for-profit company. But important thing is, fundamentally मैं आपसे बात करता हूँ, आप कैसी भी कंपनी बताइए, whatever you make, you may build the new Zomato for tomorrow, you may build a new Google for tomorrow, you may bring a new Chat GPT for tomorrow. In fact, Chat GPT अगर आप controversy देखेंगे अभी जो हुई है, it was largely around this. So what is the mission of Chat GPT? आप जैसी भी कंपनी बनाएंगे, आप प्लीज ये दो डायमेंशन पे हमेशा फोकस रखिए. प्रायोरिटी आपके ऊपर है. आप what kind of change are you bringing in the world, in the lives of the people or the environment or the planet? Be very clear. Two, what kind of a profit motive do you have? How will you sustain this company and make sure it has enough money coming in? It's your call as a founder, what shape you want to give to your company. Have you heard of CSR, corporate social responsibility?
Yes, sir.
कोई बताए मुझे, what does it mean?
Sir, corporate social responsibility is an initiative by the Indian government which asks all the corporates to have certain part of their revenue being dedicated to uplifting communities and making a social impact.
Perfect. And 2% is the number. Thank you, Devansh. Great answer. In fact, this program जो हम आज रन कर रहे हैं, ये CSR में ही आ रहा है. Right? One of our partner organization is giving us money from their CSR kitty to run this program, through which we are helping youngsters build innovative ventures, social ventures.
Yes, sir.
Okay, थोड़ा अभी अच्छा अमित ने क्वेश्चन पूछो, थोड़े थोड़े आंसर्स आने शुरू हो जाएंगे। ये हमारे मिलियन फ्रेंड्स क्या बोल रहे हैं, कोई समझाए मुझे?
Sir, the most important thing is the execution of the idea and not the idea.
व्हाट इज इट?
Basically,
मतलब एक, हाँ, एग्जीक्यूशन का मतलब क्या होता है?
फिर एग्जीक्यूशन
like
बेसिकली
how
मीन्स कि आप कितनी जल्दी आइडिया को एक्चुअल रियलिटी में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो।
ओके, एंड रियलिटी मतलब क्या, क्या हो रहा है? रियल मतलब अगर कोई आइडिया
रियल
रियल बन गया तो
market
क्या हुआ?
into the
सर
market, sir.
आइडिया रियल बन गया, सो लाइक यू कैन गेट put that idea into public to experiment with it कैसा चल रहा है, and then
ओके,
it's an execution, क्योंकि आइडियाज तो वो ठीक है, बट जब तक हम एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं करेंगे तब तक हमें ना रिस्पॉन्स मिलेगा, ना ही तब तक हमारा रिजल्ट है। सो एग्जीक्यूशन इज द मेन थिंग। इवन दो अगर आइडिया छोटा सा भी है, तब हमें आइडिया की स्ट्रेंथ कितनी है तब तक पता नहीं लगेगा जब तक एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं होगा उसका, चाहे जितना भी बड़ा
करेक्ट,
आइडिया है जितना भी छोटा।
बहुत सही बोला आपने। और इसीलिए हम बोलते हैं आइडियाज चीप है। सी, आई आई मीट अ लॉट ऑफ यंगस्टर्स, उससे मेरे को आइडिया नहीं आ रहे हैं, ऑनेस्टली गॉड, कहते हैं आई डोंट नो, आई वांट टू बी अ फाउंडर बट मेरे पास आइडिया नहीं है। और कई बार मैं ऐसे लोगों से मिलता है, कहते हैं मेरे दिमाग में 32 आइडिया हैं and I don't know which one should I choose. Honestly, these are real conversations I've had. But I'm saying whether you have one idea or 32 ideas, end of the day, that idea, आप बिल्कुल सही बोला, idea has to transform from being an idea to something real. आपका आइडिया इस ग्रेड का था, रियलिटी यहाँ है, यहाँ है, यहाँ है, यहाँ है, आई डोंट नो till you do it. Conversation is easy, but action is hard. So folks, keep this in mind. जब हम as an investor, when I look at early stage, there are some early stage investments I make, idea stage, very few, but I do. आप guess करिए, अगर किसी आइडिया में इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूं तो आप guess करिए, अगर मैं आपके पास आता हूं, चलिए let's play a little game. Let's say you, all of you today, हाँ, कितने लोग हैं हमारे पास कॉल में?
Sir, we have 34
30 34 लोग। चलिए, आप सब लोग एक शार्क टैंक में शार्क्स हैं, ऑल ऑफ यू। 35th पे आ गए हमारे पास। हाय भाविका, वेलकम। तो वी हैव 35 शार्क्स, ठीक है, और मैं आ रहा हूं आपके सामने पिच करने, और मेरे पास सिर्फ आइडिया है, और अगर आपको मेरा आइडिया अच्छा लगा तो आपको मुझे, चलो बहुत ज्यादा नहीं, 10,000 रुपए देने हैं। फिर अब आप बताइए कैसे इवैल्यूएट करेंगे? मैं आपके सामने खड़ा हूं, आपको आइडिया इवैल्यूएट करना है, क्या करेंगे आप? और अगर कर दिया तो आपको 10,000 देने पड़ेंगे। बोलिए
सर, फाउंडर मार्केट फिट देख के।
थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करिए, एवरीबडी मे नॉट नो दैट टर्म।
सर बेसिकली कि फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर पिचिंग अ टेक स्टार्टअप, तो आपको आपके पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस में उस टेक डोमेन का कितना आपको एक्सपीरियंस है, प्लस आपके क्या कॉन्टैक्ट्स हैं, अर्लियर आपने उस डोमेन में काम किया है नहीं किया है, एंड आपको उस मार्केट की कितनी नॉलेज है, तो वहाँ पे
बहुत
आई कैन
बढ़िया,
गेस द आप एग्जीक्यूशन अच्छा कर पाएंगे।
एक्सलेंट पॉइंट्स। सम मोर, और क्या गेस, और क्या गेज करेंगे आप बताइए? मैं खड़ा हूं सामने, 35 शार्क्स।
Sir, need of your product.
वेरी गुड पॉइंट।
Sir, experience of the person pitching the idea in the
एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द
related
पर्सन,
market.
बिल्कुल ठीक बोला आपने हर्षित। एनीथिंग एल्स? Okay, good points. I'll tell you folks, most investors who invest in early stage can be idea plus एक MVP term होती है, आराम से बात करेंगे हम इस बारे में। You know, the number one thing I bet on is the founder, not their idea. Because if I feel the founder, जो बातें आपने बोली, committed है, hard working है, passionate है, उसको सब कुछ नहीं पता है पर उसमें hunger है सीखने की, he or she will figure it out. आज उसका आइडिया सो है, कल वो अच्छा आइडिया भी लेके आएगा। Honest to God, 80 to 90% of my decision is on the confidence that the founder gives me. Sometimes I find, of course, idea has to be at least somewhat okay. No, you can't have a bad idea and a great founder. That doesn't make sense. But you can actually have a great founder and so-so idea and invest in it. If you have a great idea but a so-so founder, I will not invest money. See the point? It is all about you and how you come across as this person who really wants to make this your life mission. चलिए, फंडिंग की मैं कुछ आपको टिडबिट्स देता रहूंगा। I want to address something that a lot of students ask me. They ask, in general, हमें फंडिंग मिल सकती है कि नहीं, आइडिया स्टेज फंडिंग मिलती है कि नहीं, और आजकल न्यूज़पेपर में बहुत आ रहा है फंडिंग डाउन होगी है वगैरह वगैरह. इज इट रियल? तो मैं शॉर्ट आंसर देता हूँ सारे ये. नंबर वन, for the last 2 years, we are facing what is called a funding winter around the world, not just India. 2 years, which means the number of funding deals have gone down. You can see the data of the slide. I'll tell you, okay, so the number of deals have gone down. What else has changed is earlier, if you went to the market to raise funds, right? Let's say 1 crore or 5 crores, in that range, not 100 crores. It would normally take you 3, 4, 5 months to get the money. You go to multiple investors, make your pitches, documentation, negotiation, वो सब करवा के 3-4-5 महीने money in the bank. These days, it's more like 9 to 10 months. So the cycle has increased. The other thing that's increased is that आपकी valuation पे थोड़ा negotiation ज़्यादा होने लग गया. You must be seeing it in Shark Tank, right? You think your company is valued at 10 million, chances are most investors will say no, 5, 6, 7 maybe, no more. What has not changed, and I want everybody to hear this. What has not changed is that investors are still hungry for good founders with great ideas. Every day we have a WhatsApp group of our investors. Not every day. Every 3-4 days, somebody is asking, "अरे कोई अच्छी deal है तो बताओ, कोई अच्छा startup है, कोई अच्छा founder है तो बताओ." Every day. So bottom line, funding tight है? Yes. For good ideas and good founders, funding is not a problem. I'll just leave it there. It doesn't mean कोई आपके घर पैसे लेके आ जाएगा, but it's easier. It's not that hard. Harshit?
So, like, what is the meaning of a good idea? मतलब ऐसे specify कैसे करते हैं कि idea good है कि नहीं है?
ठीक है, मैं आ रहा हूँ उस पे. हमें आपका आंसर ना जगह जगह आएगा स्लाइड्स में. एक जगह और स्लाइड आएगी जहाँ मैं आपको आंसर 4 पार्ट्स में दूंगा. आ रहा है वो आंसर? ठीक है,
Okay, sir.
आ रहा है. चलिए, द फैक्ट इज, हम शॉक्ड, यू नो, I've been doing entrepreneurship for many years. मैंने ये कभी नहीं देखा कि ग्रैंड मदर्स की शाम को टीवी के आगे बैठ के ओपिनियन होती है कि वैल्यूएशन इतनी ज्यादा क्यों मांग रहा है. I've not seen grandfather and grandmother get so excited about Shark Tank ever. उनको तो नॉलेज हवा नहीं होती थी. पहले बोलते थी क्या है, और नाउ दे एक्चुअली इन्वॉल्व्ड. डू यू सी दैट? डू यू सी दैट चेंज?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I mean, not just, I mean, kids, right? So entrepreneurship as a social phenomenon has really gained traction in the last 5-7 years, 10 years really. Startup India was launched 8-9 years ago. So much happening. Look at what NASCOM Foundation is doing for you. Similarly, many incubators. I work with Vadhwani Foundation, which does a lot of program around entrepreneurship, not for profit, government program. Government पैसा देती है, seed funding available है आज की डेट में, much easier than it used to be. And there are investors like me. E-cells होंगे आपके colleges में, incubators होंगे. There is so much happening. Certainly, when I became an entrepreneur for the first time, वो बहुत पहले की बात है. ये सब कुछ नहीं था, zero. Honestly, मैं अपने आप को startup भी नहीं बोलता था. I was just doing a business, new business. ये startup word ही नहीं था हमारे यहाँ. कोई angel investor नहीं था. None of these words existed. So there's lots of good stuff. But you know, the harsh reality, a very high number of startups don't work out. ये इंडिया की कहानी नहीं है, around the world है ये. 80-90% don't work out. Why? I want to hear from you. Give me some reasons why so many startups fail. What do you think are the reasons?
But I think the execution and the desire to build is starting.
Okay, execution and the desire के gap है. ठीक है अमित. Other thoughts?
So wrong team and wrong hiring.
Devansh is saying wrong team, wrong hiring. Excellent point again. Okay, let's hear
Sir,
more.
they can't find product market fit.
Okay, अब अभिषेक बहुत बड़ा वर्ड यूज किया आपने. अगेन थोड़ा डिस्क्राइब करना पड़ेगा सबके लिए. What does
सर,
it mean?
जैसे कि कोई मेरा प्रोडक्ट है और मैंने अपने मन में सोच लिया है कि उसके लिए मार्केट होगी, पर जिनको मैं वो प्रोडक्ट देना चाहता हूँ या बेचना चाहता हूँ उनको उस चीज की जरूरत ही नहीं है, या फिर उनके पास कोई और अल्टरनेटिव है.
Okay, great point, Abhishek. Thank you. What else?
So lack of
Sir,
depth
Lack of
statement
depth.
we are working on.
Lack of, sorry, क्या?
The lack of deep analysis of the problem statement. You do not
Okay,
understand
lack
what
of,
you're working
okay.
on. Exactly.
Lack of understanding of the problem itself. बिल्कुल सही है. I agree. एक और voice थी.
So long term
Sir, pace of
motivation नहीं
startup.
आता.
हाँ, long term motivation commitment नहीं है, short term game खेल रहे हैं. बिल्कुल सही है.
Sir, pace of startup.
Pace as in too slow, too fast.
Sir, both can be reasons.
Correct. Okay, great answers, folks. I'm going to share a list based on my experience. And number one is what Abhishek talked about. मुझे लगता है कि दुनिया को जरूरत है एक नए सेल फोन की, और मैं बनाने लग गया. मैंने कोई चेक नहीं किया, कोई फोन मांग रहा है, नहीं मांग रहा है, किस प्राइस रेंज में मार रहा है, आज क्या चॉइसेस हैं, आज हैंडसेट्स अवेलेबल हैं, मारा मारी है. आई थिंक इट इज ग्रेट, एंड हेंस आई स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन इट विदाउट इवन फिगरिंग आउट उसकी डिमांड क्या है मार्केट में. वो डिमांड भी है तो कस्टमर ले तो रहा है, बट उसको वो क्या बोल रहा है, मुझे ये चाहिए, बट आपको मैं 5,000 तो ज्यादा नहीं दूंगा. So really, you've not spent the time on understanding your customers in the market. Number one reason for failure around the world. Very, very important for techies, folks. मैं दोबारा बोल रहा हूँ आप लोग. मैं खुद techie हूँ, by the way. I'm masters in computer science and computer engineering from what used to be DIT and SIT. हमारी ये problem है as technologists. हम technology और product में ज़्यादा घुस जाते हैं without understanding the need for it. Second, cash burn. What does that mean? What is cash burn? What do you think
So
cash burn?
basically losing money, like over expenditure.
Correct. So you are earning 100 rupees a month, but you're spending 150 rupees. आप 50 rupees burn कर रहे हो हर month. Poor unit economics. Again, ये सारी term by the way Shark Tank में आती हैं. Unit economics मतलब?
Sir,
So per
like जैसे
unit
product है
profit
तो
कितना है?
Correct. आपने let's say a bottle, you either made it or bought the bottle for 100 rupees. Are you selling for 120 or 80? Right? हर bottle पे आप पैसा कमा रहे हैं कि पैसा lose कर रहे हैं? You have to know. Number 4, also you very rightly mentioned. Do you remember seeing the movie Social Network? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
What was it about?
Sir, it was how
So-
Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook.
And what is the main problem in that movie? Fight क्या थी वहाँ पे?
So the main problem was that two brothers had the idea first. They came in contact with Zuckerberg, and then Zuckerberg just thought of it that even though their idea is good, they are not tech enthusiasts. They cannot build the product on their own, and he doesn't really need. So he
Absolutely.
just
And
went out
then,
and built his own.
correct. And did he have a fight with his co-founder?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Big time, big time, big time. The whole movie was
Sir,
around
I
it.
think basically they did not have the same intention of making the product. Like
Yep,
Zuckerberg had the different purpose for making that, and they had a different purpose for that.
correct.
So the vision did not match, and that's why
Perfect.
they had a conflict.
Great word. Their vision, their outcome, their goal didn't match, and this led to trouble. Now, folks, ये मेरे top 5 में है. कहीं बार I often actually see top 3 of my reasons. You will be surprised. Here's the dilemma. Again, अमित ने question पूछा था, बीच में share करता रहूंगा मैं. As an investor, ये question भी मेरे से बहुत पूछा जाता है. Is it okay to be a solo entrepreneur, or do I need a team? 2, 3, 4 co-founders. अच्छा आप बताइए, what do you think? Is it okay to have one founder, or should you have more? आपको क्या लगता है?
सर वन
should
कैन
have
डू
at
इट, बट
least
उसमें
two.
टाइम गैप बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा. अगर एक टीम होती है तो हम कम टाइम में चीजों को जल्दी कर सकते हैं, एंड हमारे पास ज्यादा थॉट्स एंड ज्यादा आइडियाज होते हैं लोगों के.
ठीक है.
Sir, I have a little different answer for this. So this is the practically what we did with our project. So first thing we did was I started alone. We started alone, and then once while working on the product, I was also finding people to, I was also representing them a thing ki, this is the what I'm doing, and I was also asking them their vision ki, if you want to work on this, what's your vision for this? And once I found this person with the same vision who had the exact same thing that I want, so that's why I asked them ki, okay, I'm working on this, but this is the really start thing. definitely cannot expect anything, any like an income source or something good out of it, because we'll first we have to put efforts on this. So so the conclusion is I started alone, but once I found people with same vision, they already accepted ki, okay, we are ready to work on this together.
Correct. So actually the reality, बिल्कुल सही बोला, reality is in the between the two answers. In general, as an investor, I prefer it if there's two more co-founders. I think it's less risk. You know, the one person is carrying everything. कुछ भी हो सकता है, बीमार हो जाएंगे वो 1 महीने के लिए and everything just shuts down. Simple. I'm sorry, but ये reality है. The other is if there are two or more, I want to make sure they are supremely aligned. It's not necessarily that they have the skills. Skill set तो चाहिए. But are they aligned? And skill set भी, by the way, quick comment. अगर 3 co-founder हैं और तीनों techies हैं, do you see a risk?
Yes, sir.
As an investor, I see a huge risk.
Yes, sir, definitely.
I see a huge risk. अगर मैं 2 या 3 देखता हूँ, मैं कहता हूँ आप मुझे बताओ आप टेक कौन कर रहा है, बिजनेस कौन कर रहा है, ऑपरेशन कौन कर रहा है. अगर वो सेपरेशन नहीं है, then it's a risk that you're carrying as a startup. So be aware, those of you who are going to face investors, you will be asked this question, and I'm glad you all, at least some of you, experienced the fact that finding talent. By the way, how easy do you think it is to find co-founders? क्या लगता है आपको?
Not easy. Definitely not
It's
easy.
very difficult.
आपने ट्राई किया?
Sir, yes, definitely tried. Like almost, I'm not joking, but I almost talked to 50 people before ended up meeting the person that I had the same conclusion with. And this definitely happens. और वो भी एक कॉलेज से नहीं मिलता. You have to contact जिसके जितने भी दोस्त हैं उनके दोस्तों को कॉल करो and then figure out who's the one. But it's worth it.
It's worth it because you get to understand the world a little more. Which year are you guys in mostly? First, just say 1, 2, 3, 4. Just say.
Second, sir.
Second, 3.
Third year, sir.
Third.
Fourth.
First year.
First, fourth. एक दो बोलिए, I'll get a sense. Just say a number.
First.
The second.
One. Okay. ठीक है. तो मिक्स है बट 1, 2 में ज्यादा है, 3, 4 में थोड़े कम साउंड कर रहे हैं मुझे, एटलीस्ट साउंड कम कर रहे हैं. There's another way of learning. See, if you want to do your own startup, मैं थोड़ा tangent ले रहा हूँ because I think I want to reinforce the point with you. If you want to do your own startup, sometimes it's also important and easy to first learn it by watching others. So, question for you. Has anybody done an internship with a startup?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What was the experience?
सर अच्छा था काफी, मतलब उनके साथ काम करके पता चला था कि हाउ द स्टार्टअप वर्क्स, हाउ फाउंडर्स थिंक एंड हाउ डू दे कम्युनिकेट विद अदर्स, हाउ दे बिल्ड देयर प्रोडक्ट, व्हाट अप्रोच डिड दे मेक. सो लाइक मैंने इंटर्नशिप में अपने फाउंडर के साथ ही क्लोजली काम किया था, तो आई नो ऑल अबाउट दिस. आफ्टर दैट आई स्टार्टेड माय ओन स्टार्टअप. पहले पता करना था कि काम कैसे करना है, देन वो काम कर सकते हैं.
Good example. And how easy was it for you to find an internship with a startup?
So it was tough actually, क्योंकि founders को directly pitch किया था मैंने, तो कि I want to work with a startup, I want to be a part of team to work. So after 5-6 people, I got one from my college itself.
But वो internशाला वगैरह doesn't work?
No, तब मुझे पता नहीं था सर. हमारे कॉलेज में है incubation center है DTOIFF. So first वहाँ पे काफी founders थे, so I pitched my.
Sir, can I share mine as well?
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear all. Not me. I want everybody to hear these experiences. There's a lot of learning here.
What happened was when the cohort happened last time, so I somehow managed to reach last round for the cohort, but I failed miserably in the last round because, of course, I was working alone. So that's why plus I had never worked on a startup, so I never knew how things work. So then I decided to work for a small startup. I went to different investing events and different startup showcase events, and there it was quite easy to find an opportunity to work from them because they're already small startups and they're already looking for people to work from them. But the startup owners had like 20 to 30 years of experience, so it was easy to find, yet a lot to learn from them. So I worked with one of the clothing brands. It was called Inspirit Store. They made really good clothing, and I did marketing and sales for them for like 2 months, and that's why. And then later I decided to work on this.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. One observation one comment I get from a lot of students is often they go for internships in corporates and basic काम नहीं करते हैं. They actually just, they don't give them good projects. They do menial work and कोई खास learning नहीं होती. Whereas startups actually juice निकालते हैं आपका. ये सही है observation आपके experience में?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And because the juice निकालते हैं, you learn.
Yes, sir.
And corporate internship, we also know ना यार, you get corporate because the uncle, your dad, somebody knows somebody, वो कहेंगे अच्छा चलो internship कर लो summer में, है ना? Okay, but good conversation. थोड़ा हम इधर उधर जा रहे हैं, but focus. Remember, folks, the idea of this session today and the overall program is to bring greater awareness to you, so you can make more informed choices about everything. And there's so many parts to a startup. I'll talk about 4 parts coming very soon. But I'll tell you the number one thing. And हम already बात कर चुके हैं इस बारे में थोड़ी. Number one thing, if you want to succeed as a founder of whatever, commercial enterprise, social enterprise, doesn't matter, is how you have to put customer at the center of everything you do. It's a mindset. ये सिर्फ कहने की बात नहीं है, it's a mindset. आपको छोटा example देता हूँ. I was a management consultant for a few years. So I went to a board meeting to facilitate some conversations about next year's planning. So board meeting, senior log, boardroom, really, right? CEO on one side, 4-5 log इधर, 4-5 इधर. So right across from the CEO was another chair. मीटिंग का टाइम था 10 बजे, हम लोग शुरू मीटिंग शुरू हो गई है, I'm watching, वो चेयर खाली पड़े ना, पता नहीं कौन आएगा, इंपॉर्टेंट होगा. It's right across 15, 10, 20, 10, 30 फाइनली छोटी ब्रेक. मैंने बोला, who is that seat for? Where is that person? You know what they told me, the CEO? That story has stayed with me. This is at least a 15, 20-year-old story now. He said, in that chair is our customer. We make sure any decision we make in this room is by keeping the customer in mind, so that we don't ignore the customer. That chair reminds us कि यहाँ customer बैठा है. आज अगर हम ये product launch कर रहे हैं, ये marketing कर रहे हैं, ये pricing change कर रहे हैं, how will the customer react? Existing and new. Very powerful. It really is about how everything you do in the startup starts and ends with your customer. So it's very important to define who your customer is. And by the way, in today's startups, in traditional businesses, थोड़ा आसान है, आज के startup में थोड़ा tough है. So if I were to ask you this question, and please, I want to hear some more voices, please. I appreciate all the voices I'm hearing. I want to hear just a few more. Who do you think is the customer for Google search? Who is the customer? Some answers. Just throw some answers.
General public.
General public. Mohit ne bola. Okay. Some more voices.
So, like anyone who's having the problem that we are solving.
Which is what? Like search user.
I guess a search user or any user that is suffering.
Okay. Somebody who wants an answer will go to Google to find the answer. Okay. Somebody who has a problem over there. Okay. What else? Who else is a customer for them? चलिए एक और बात पूछता हूँ. How does Google make money? And they make tons of money. How does Google make money?
Sir, I think the most the
ad
large
revenue.
amount of money they get from the sales and the advertisement.
तो वो आपने customer क्यों नहीं बोला?
Sir, समझा नहीं sir कैसे?
When I asked for customers, all of you said users. Nobody said advertisers.
But just our advertisers users also क्योंकि अगर advertisers को कोई platform चाहिए, so they are a customer for us as well. Means if they are having a problem, we are giving them a solution, a platform.
Correct. So please keep in mind, any of you, if you're building a multi-sided platform, please keep in mind customers. आप उनको नाम जो भी बुलाइए, partners कोई बुलाता है, कोई user बुलाता है, कोई consumer बुलाता है. Customers come in different shapes and forms. Just keep this in mind. Google is a classic example. You and I use Google search for free. But that data becomes useful for advertisers to target their ads, and those are the people Google charges. Google doesn't charge us, he charges advertisers. Can advertisers live without web users? No. Can web users live without advertisers? No, because Google will not be there. अपने पैरों पे खड़ा नहीं हो पाएगा. So it's very interesting about who the customer is depending on the business you're in. I know Byju's has been in the news for wrong reasons. Who is the customer for Byju's?
Students.
Students. Who else? थोड़ा और guess करिए.
सर पेरेंट्स
Parents. Sir, parents की parents.
पेरेंट्स पे
ठीक है. Parents हैं, children हैं. तो कौन है customer? By the way, customer की definition क्या होती है? Who is a customer? How do you define a customer?
सो जो सर्विस है प्रोडक्ट जो हम अवेल करा रहे हैं उसका यूज कर रहा है एंड उससे हमें प्रॉफिट जनरेट या रेवेन्यू जनरेट करा रहा है
तो
मोस्ट
देखिए
प्रॉब्ली।
अब बायजूस के एग्जांपल में स्टूडेंट यूज कर रहा है पर पे नहीं कर रहा है, पेरेंट यूज नहीं कर रहा है बट पे कर रहा है.
सर बट पेरेंट एंड स्टूडेंट तो एक ही एंटिटी है ना सर, पेरेंट आर पेइंग ऑन द बिहाफ ऑफ स्टूडेंट।
They are paying on the behalf of the student. But why is it important for you to differentiate? विशाल आप जरा सोचिए. आपको हिंट देता हूं. आप जो प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं एज बायजूस, वो किसको ध्यान में रख के बनाएंगे?
सर स्टूडेंट्स को।
वेरी गुड. आप जो प्राइसिंग और मार्केटिंग करेंगे वो किसको ध्यान में रख के बनाएंगे?
उनके पेरेंट्स।
पेरेंट्स को. याद है टीवी पे शाहरुख खान की एड आती थी बायजूस की?
यस सर।
Who did Shahrukh Khan talk to?
So they talk to students and parents together. They
हाँ,
talk.
but हाँ बोलो.
वो इंडिकेट स्टूडेंट्स की डेवलपमेंट कर रहे थे बट वो मोटिवेट पेरेंट्स को कर रहे थे कि अगर हम ऐसा करा सकते हैं तो आप अपने बच्चों को पुश कीजिए कि वो आगे जाएं।
बिल्कुल.
So indirect they are targeting parents but they are directing towards students.
करेक्ट. सो अगर आप बायजूस हैं और सिर्फ स्टूडेंट का सोचेंगे, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू सेल योर प्रोडक्ट. अगर बायजूस हैं, आप पेरेंट्स के बारे में ही सोचेंगे, मार्केटिंग प्राइसिंग ये, और प्रोडक्ट आपका थर्ड है, स्टूडेंट एक बार यूज करेगा, उसका लॉग इन भी नहीं करेगा, दैट्स रॉन्ग टू. So you have to keep the needs of different stakeholders in mind. एक और एग्जांपल देता हूं आपको. Have you heard of this? Again, social enterprise है, रोजगार सारथी. नाम सुना है किसी ने?
No, sir.
So it's a dedicated job portal for those with physical disabilities. So physically challenged people come here, individuals, and they help them find jobs with appropriate corporates. Now इनके लिए दोनों ही कस्टमर्स हैं, ऑल्दो पैसा वो सिर्फ कॉर्पोरेट से चार्ज करते हैं. I'll tell you what happens. The story I'm trying to build here is, for your startup, you really need to have a solid understanding of who the user is, because your entire product design, UI, UX experience will be built on the user. अब your user ही पैसा दे रहा है, बहुत अच्छा है. नहीं है तो कौन पैसा दे रहा है और उसको इन्फ्लुएंस कौन कर रहा है? Let's take an example. बायजूस वाला ही. बायजूस में पेरेंट्स आर पेइंग. अब पेरेंट्स को कौन इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है? आर टीचर्स इन्फ्लुएंसिंग देम? वो कह रहे ले लो बायजूस, के बोलो नहीं ले लो बायजूस. चांसेस वो कह रहे नहीं लो बिकॉज उनकी पोजीशन डाउन होती है. कोचिंग ट्यूटर क्या बोलेगा? बायजूस के पास जाओ. वो तो कभी नहीं बोलेगा क्या बायजूस बेकार है, मैं आके पढ़ाता हूँ आपको 2000 रुपीज एन आवर. सो हु इज इन्फ्लुएंसिंग द डिसीजन? और इन्फ्लुएंसिंग कैन आल्सो बी सोशल. अरे मेरे सर्कल में सब पेरेंट्स के बच्चे ने बायजूस लिया हुआ, मेरे को भी लेना चाहिए. Social pressure. 3 fundamental decisions: who uses, who influences or approves, and who actually will pay you. They may or may not be the same entity. ध्यान रखिए जरा. ये हमारे जो सिंपल बिजनेसेस होते थे पहले के, अब today's startups have lot more complexity for as far as paying capacity is concerned and who pays. Now, as a startup, of course, you have to focus on all. You can't focus on one and forget the other. So customers, the journey of customers starts by understanding their relationship with you. User, payer, influencer, जो भी है आपको figure out करना है. But उससे पहले, even before that, you have to follow this. ये क्या बोल रहे हैं हमारे friends? What's his name? Gru क्या नाम है इनका?
Yes, sir. Brew and up.
Gru ही है ना?
Yes, sir.
So what is Gru saying?
Do not boil the ocean.
मतलब क्या हुआ है?
सर समझ नहीं आया सर।
हाँ सोचिए ना, आई नो, मैं समझाऊंगा, आप कोशिश करिए।
maybe we cannot gather everything or everyone.
या शिवांश, यू ऑन द राइट ट्रैक। हाँ, थोड़ा और सोचिए।
Like they say we cannot target everyone basically कि हम सब कुछ एक साथ नहीं कर सकते।
करेक्ट, बहुत बढ़िया, गुड समरी। तो अगेन अ प्रॉब्लम आई सी विद मेनी स्टार्टअप पिचेस। जब हम उनसे बात बोलते हैं कि आप क्या प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे हो, क्या सोल्यूशन है, तो हम पूछते हैं अच्छा कौन यूजर होंगे आपके, कौन कस्टमर होंगे? एवरीबडी। रियली आई हैव हर्ड पिचेस जैसे एवरीबडी इज अ कस्टमर। नाउ एवरीबडी इज अ बिग मार्केट आउट देयर। एवरीबडी मतलब 5 साल का बच्चा भी है, 50 साल का भी है, उनकी नीड्स अलग है ना, आप कैसे बोल रहे हो? नंबर 1। नंबर 2, एज अ स्टार्टअप आपके रिसोर्सेज लिमिटेड हैं। अगर आप एवरीबडी के लिए बना भी रहे हो, ऑनेस्टली योर प्रोडक्ट विल हैव टू लुक डिफरेंट फॉर अ 5-year and different for a 50-year-old. Cannot look the same. You have to spend, you have to create product team that are different. Do you have that kind of bandwidth? No. You have to market to a 5-year and a 50 and a 30 separately. You have to market in India and market in Singapore and market in India. You can't do it. So nobody can boil the ocean, except if you want to boil the ocean, how do you do it?
Global warming.
Good answer. Good answer. Let global warming take care of it. आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Keep living our lives. Will boil the oceans into oblivion. You can boil it 1 cup at a time. So which is why हम concept बहुत simple है but बहुत powerful concept है of customer segments. Can somebody explain that to me? Maybe it's on the slide, but what do you think?
So dividing customers in different segments, like on the basis of age group भी हो सकता है, on the basis of interest भी हो सकता है, and yeah.
उसका फायदा क्या होता है उसका?
सर फिर हम कस्टमर सेंट्रिक प्रोडक्ट या जो हम अपग्रेड या कुछ भी करते हैं वो कस्टमर सेंट्रिक कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, और थोड़ा नैरो हो जाता है फोकस। वी आर नॉट डूइंग टू मेनी थिंग्स फॉर टू मेनी पीपल, राइट? एग्जाम्पल देते हैं, ये हमारे सामने हमेशा होता है, हम कभी शायद ध्यान नहीं देते हैं। आप जरा देखिए, यहाँ पे लिस्ट है। एक्टिव लाइफस्टाइल के पीछे कौन सा ब्रांड है? विच ब्रांड? ये सेगमेंटेशन है। विच ब्रांड इज सेगमेंटिंग एंड गोइंग आफ्टर पीपल हु डू एक्टिव लाइफस्टाइल? Nike, very good. Which brand has created separate products for men and separate for women?
Garnier.
Which brand से हम उन्हीं के पास जाएंगे जिन पास ज्यादा पैसा है, जो लग्जरी परस्यू कर रहे हैं।
रोलेक्स।
हम वॉच टाइटन भी पहन सकते हैं ना, हम 4000 वाली वॉच भी पहन सकते हो, 4 लाख वाली भी पहन सकते हो, हम 4 लाख वालों के पीछे जाएंगे। ये हमारा सेगमेंट है। एंड ये कंपनी कहती है हम वी विल गो आफ्टर पीपल हु केयर अबाउट द एनवायरनमेंट।
Blue Smart.
Yeah, by the way, I'm an investor in Blue Smart, so I really like what they do. एंड जैसे देखो, दुनिया में बहुत सारे लोग हैं, हम उनके यहाँ जाएंगे जिनके लिए क्रिकेट नंबर 1 है लाइफ में।
Dream 11.
You see what they do? Dream 11 ये नहीं बोला हम सब लोगों के पीछे जाएंगे। नाइकी ऑफ कोर्स सेल्स टू एवरीबॉडी, बट उनके सेगमेंट है, विमेन्स एक्टिव, विमेन्स वर्क, मेंस एक्टिव, वो उसके सब सेगमेंट बनाते रहते हैं उसके। नोबडी रोलेक्स, हम एनीबॉडी हु वेयर्स अ वॉच, हम उसके लिए वॉच बनाएंगे, चाहे वो 500 की हो या 5 लाख की हो, कोई नहीं करता ऐसे। So it requires too much. This is also positioning, जो आज का हमारा टॉपिक है। आप अपने स्टार्टअप को किस सेगमेंट के साथ पोजीशन करेंगे, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट एज वेल। ब्रॉडली 3 तरह के सेगमेंट टाइप्स होते हैं। This is what you and I will buy, right? Have you heard this term, B2C?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, very good. Who's new voice? Who was that? Who was that?
Sir, Kanak.
Okay, Kanak. Good. Second is next question for you. If you and I are buyers of these sneakers, that's a broad category of B2C. हम सब B2C consumers हैं हम लोग. Can you have sub segments also? हमारे बीच में कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं जिनको अलग तरह के स्नीकर्स की जरूरत होती है।
Yes, sir. Like अगर हम हैं जो अभी like students है, तो हम लोग थोड़ा फैशन की तरफ जाएंगे, लेकिन अगर ओल्ड एज पीपल है तो वो कंफर्ट की तरफ ज्यादा जाएंगे। तो ऐसे सेगमेंट्स हैं डिफरेंट.
परफेक्ट कनक. सो B2C बहुत ब्रॉड है, उसके अंदर बिल्कुल ठीक बोला आपने, और सब्सिक्वेंट सब सेगमेंट है. नाइकी शायद सब सेगमेंट में नहीं जाएगा, कोई और ब्रांड आ जाएगा. अगर मैं बोलूं एक्टिव वे तो शायद नाइकी, रीबॉक कम टू माय माइंड, राइट कनक? फैशन में which is a brand? I actually don't know, I'm asking you, which is a brand known for fashion sneakers?
सर नाइकी, प्यूमा, एडिडास.
करेक्ट बिल्कुल ठीक बोला. और लास्ट कैटेगरी भी इंपॉर्टेंट है मेडिकल सपोर्ट के लिए. सो यू हैव टू देखा आपने, ब्रॉड सेगमेंट था, उसके नीचे हमने और सेगमेंट बना दिए. तो दैट एक्सरसाइज यू हैव टू डू.
यस.
प्रैक्टो का नाम सुना है हमने?
Yes, sir.
It's an app that helps you find doctors as a consumer, and for the doctors it helps you manage your appointments in office. So if doctors or clinics are their customers, and they are, we call this the B2B side of Practo. Practo has two sides, you and I, B2C, and on the back end they have clinics. So it's a B2B. B2B is where you're selling to a business or another organization. ये महिंद्रा बनाता है. गैस कौन खरीदता महिंद्रा से?
गवर्नमेंट.
इंडियन आर्मी.
Absolutely
B2G.
right. बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने. There is a B2G also. बहुत ब्रॉड है ये, बट इट्स अ स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट फॉर यू. कैन अ स्टार्टअप, मैंने ऑलरेडी शायद आंसर दे दिया, बट कैन अ स्टार्टअप फोकस ऑन हैव अ B2C एंड अ B2B फोकस?
Yes, sir.
ऑफ कोर्स. गूगल का एग्जांपल दिया मैंने. गूगल B2C हम लोग हैं, B2B एडवर्टाइजर्स है, राइट? Byju's is B2C on both sides. That's fine. So it varies. It varies on how you structure your business, which is why you can have a primary and secondary also. But detail में नहीं जा रहा, but there's a lot you can do around it to break your market down into smaller pieces. एक ये terminology भी है, which is very important. So customer persona is what our minion is talking about. Can somebody tell me what a customer persona is?
So like maintaining the customer for a long period of time, like जो customer retention rate होता है. So जैसे इसमें स्टेटमेंट में है कि रियल कस्टमर्स मैटर मींस कि जो लंबे टाइम तक आपके साथ रहे आपकी कंपनी में, एंड नॉट द नंबर.
हाँ, ओके. आप मतलब आपने सही बात बोली है, बट वो कस्टमर पर्सोना से रिलेटेड नहीं है. पर्सोना क्या होता है?
So brand loyalty.
थोड़ा नो पर्सोना. हम एक हिंट देता हूं आपको. लोग कहते हैं कि शाहरुख खान और अमिताभ बच्चन दोनों का पर्सोना बड़ा अलग है. What do we mean by that?
So the way they present themselves.
करेक्ट. या बोलते हैं धोनी और विराट कोहली के पर्सोनास अलग अलग हैं काफी, या द्रविड़ और कोहली के पर्सोनास अलग हैं.
Yes, so one is more aggressive.
हाँ, one is aggressive, younger, all of that. So persona is, हमने बात की कस्टमर्स की. पहले पता करिए कौन से कस्टमर हैं, एक तरह के हैं, दो करेंगे, कौन यूजर है, कौन बायर है, पहले ये करिए, फिर देखिए उसको आपने सेगमेंट करना है कि नहीं. सेगमेंट करने के लिए क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि हम जानना चाहते हैं who they are. Persona is us understanding, आपने ठीक बोला, पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ योर कस्टमर. ये कस्टमर कौन है भाई आपका, कहाँ रहता है, क्या सोचता है, क्या खाता है, क्या पीता है, क्या दिक्कत है. अगर आप ये नहीं करेंगे, अगेन नंबर वन रीजन फॉर स्टार्टअप फेलियर, नॉट नोइंग योर कस्टमर वेल. मैं ऑलरेडी बात कर चुके हैं इस पे. So everybody needs to have some personas developed on this. I know इस टॉपिक पे इस वर्कशॉप में बात हो चुकी है. आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं मैं. सेगमेंट हमारा है B2C ब्रॉड. उसके अंदर दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टार्टअप रियल स्टार्टअप है. इट्स टारगेटिंग वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल 30 to 40 year olds who live in large cities of India. ये उनका टारगेट है. देखिए उन्होंने B2C तो बोल दिया, ये नहीं बोला एवरीबडी, ये भी नहीं बोला 30 to anybody who live in cities, ये भी बहुत ब्रॉड है. 30 to 40 भी बहुत ब्रॉड है. जैसे वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स, सिटी बेस, ये एज ग्रुप, ये हमारा टारगेट है. क्यों? और ये उसका एक प्रोफाइल है, एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पर्सन है. they went and talked to 30-40 such people. एक उनका रिप्रेजेंटेशन ये निकल के आता है. टिपिकली ये प्रोफाइल होगा. In this case, working professional, mother of one, etc., etc. Why are they doing this? Because देखिए प्रॉब्लम क्या सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. ये रियल प्रॉब्लम ऑफ especially working professional double income की है, that they want to keep their kids away from digital devices, TVs and cell phones. But kids आजकल engage ही नहीं होते toys से. They don't find them interesting. कोई खेलता ही नहीं है toys से, जैसे पहले खेलते थे, blocks हो या जो भी हो. So they said, listen, the parents want to give them something, but they don't know where to go. वही दुकान में जाके वही repeat toys डालें जो चाहे या खेलता नहीं है या 1 घंटा खेलेगा उसके बाद done. They said, can we create toys that stimulate their brain, that are exciting, which will stop them from asking for a mobile phone? ये problem solve कर रहे थे because they themselves are parents. ये real startup है. They said, हम उन parents की problem solve करेंगे जो चाहते हैं कि हम अपने बच्चों को अच्छे से बड़ा कर सके. And उन parents की aspiration, ये startup की aspiration नहीं है. Who are these parents? Typically social media पे somewhat active हैं, LinkedIn, Instagram हैं, थोड़ा vacation लेते हैं, exercise centric हैं, devoted to their jobs भी हैं, but weekend they like to spend with the family, obviously have kids, one or more kids, and also are balancing their careers with home. ये उनका life है. Jobs to be done is essentially, what is the purpose behind all this? I want to give my kid a toy because I want them to be engaged, I want them to learn, and I want to feel that I've done the right job as a parent. ये उन्होंने अपने customers, बहुत 30-40 actually कम number था, they talked to at least 100 customers. ये उनको मोटी कहानी निकल के आई सारे customers से. सब customers, सब नहीं, जिनसे उन्होंने बात की, majority was struggling to engage their kids with non-screen things which are entertaining and can also teach them a few things, motor skills, visual, colors, all of that stuff. And they said, this is the set we want to go after. And by the way, they started a toy-based subscription service. And very interesting toy they were starting to make. तो ये persona उनके customer का है. Clarify कर रहा हूं मैं, ये startup का नहीं है. Persona, ये Anjali Kumar is one of their potential customers. And this is her life. This is a struggle. This is a problem. These are her aspirations. This becomes the basis for doing two things. This startup say, okay, now I understand the customer. My product should address the needs. Your jobs should be done. देख रहे हैं नीचे. The toy should be do that. Plus the toy should be affordable because they're working. They can only afford so much out there. And we also know what kind of messaging we should have if you want to sell to the Anjalis of the world. Marketing. So persona helps you with product and marketing insights. अमित, आपका क्वेश्चन दोबारा आ रहा है इन अ डिफरेंट अवतार. ये जनरल आंसर देता हूं, फिर आपका इन्वेस्टर स्पेसिफिक आंसर भी इसमें से निकलेगा. एनी स्टार्टअप, इट डजंट मैटर व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. आप रोबोट्स बना रहे हैं, आप रॉकेट बना रहे हैं मार्स में जाने के लिए, या आप डेटिंग ऐप बना रहे हैं, or you creating a solution for sending home cooked meals in your neighborhood to your college campus, whatever you're doing, you have to answer 4 fundamental questions, so-called 4 validations. You have to get answers to these questions that are honest, तब भी आप आगे चल पाएंगे, नहीं तो आप जरूर अटकेंगे. Number 1 question, और ये validation से होगा. अब we are all engineers, right? We know what validation is. Validation is not what I think in my head. Validation is what the market tells me. Data लेके कि जो प्रॉब्लम मैं समझ रहा हूं वो रियल है कि नहीं है, और है तो छोटी प्रॉब्लम है, 10 लोगों की प्रॉब्लम है कि 10 मिलियन की प्रॉब्लम है. Unless you spend time with real customers, talking to them, you will never figure it out. Everything will be assumptions based, not healthy. As an investor, Amit, अगर आप सुन रहे हैं, that's the first question I ask. How have you, first is of course वो problem statement बोलेंगे, how have you validated the problem? If they say, no, I know, मैंने Google search की है, ChatGPT भी यही बोल रहा है, sorry. If you say, no, I've actually gone and talked to 20 parents who have this problem, or I've gone and talked to 50 students who have this problem, and most of them are agreeing that this is a critical issue for them to solve, then I have more confidence in you. That you're not working from your head, you're working from the market. So first validation is around customer needs. Second validation, अब जो भी बना रहे हैं वो यूजर्स की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है? You'll be surprised कितना गैप आता है फर्स्ट। यू नो द प्रॉब्लम बट योर सोल्यूशन इज डिफरेंट। बहुत हैवी सोल्यूशन बना दिया, फीचर लोडेड सोल्यूशन, नोबडी, वो कंज्यूमर उसमें लॉस्ट ही हो गया, क्या समझ नहीं आया मुझे कर क्या रहे हो, और सो लाइट कि उनको वेब प्रॉब्लम ही सॉल्व नहीं है। सो इज योर टेक्नोलॉजी just the right solution that customers can love to use? How do you test your technology, by the way? क्या बनाते हैं हम टेक्नोलॉजी में to test with the customer? What are they called?
Beta version.
Beta versions. कुछ और वर्ड्स बताइए उसके लिए।
MVP,
Prototype.
प्रोटोटाइप, एक और वर्ड बताइए। MVP बोल रहा था कोई।
MVP,
MVP बिल्कुल सही है। Have you heard of Figma?
yes sir,
Anyone?
designing के लिए use
Yes,
करते
sir.
हैं।
It's not just design. Figma is actually now user experience, right? Adobe bought it. So you can actually do a lot of user experience even before you write a single piece of code. All of these are ways to first to validate कि हमारा प्रोडक्ट चलेगा कि अच्छा लगेगा, चलेगा एंड अच्छा लगेगा। Third test, and again I asked this question in a pitch deck. Third test, how are you going to make money? प्रोडक्ट बहुत अच्छा है पर कोई पैसे ही नहीं दे रहा आपको, तो फायदा क्या होगा? So is somebody so happy with what you're doing, so happy that you solved their problem, they say, we love your product and please take a little money from us. Then you have a good business. And last but not the least, you have to validate and confirm that you have the team to make all of this happen. जो हम एग्जीक्यूशन की बात कर रहे थे कि आप इसको बिल्ड करके एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हो कि नहीं। सो अमित, मैं आपको this is an open book exam. Any pitch I listen to, I will ask these 4 questions. मैं 5th बता चुका हूँ, what is the problem? What is the problem? And these 4 questions. How do you know the problem is real and big? How will you ensure that your product really solves the problem and customers love it? Why would the customer pay you for it and how much? And if they have a similar solution that costs them 100, why should they pay you 250? I will ask you this question. Last, is it 1 co-founder, 2 co-founder, 5 people? Who are they? What are the skills? Sub techies hain, koi business hai, all of that stuff. This one slide sums it up. Amit, is it helping you? Okay, all of this is setting us up. ये अगर हमने groundwork नहीं किया, guys, there is no point of us talking about marketing or sales. If we don't know who our customers are, if we have not narrowed them down into appropriate segments, if we have not gone and talked to a few customers, if we don't have a persona understanding of them, we can burn all the money in the world on marketing and कुछ नहीं होगा। हम गलत डायरेक्शन में मार्केटिंग एनर्जी डाल रहे हैं बहुत। and I'm actually honestly telling you, I've seen too many startups do this. They literally burn marketing dollars because they're just not focused. They don't know who they're selling to. They don't know why they're selling. They don't know what they're selling, and they don't know what they're selling is how they're different from all the other options in the world. You'll be surprised. You think it's common sense है? I see many startups going down. Cash burn जो हमने बात की थी, they burn cash on this. Sorry, Prabmeet, you want to ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, आपने कहा कि like it's a waste की burning cash on marketing and sales. Understood. But sir, then how do we figure out कि okay the audience that we are trying to find, where we can find that audience, how we can even target them at the first place? Because यहाँ पर काफी सारे लोग के ऐसे projects होंगे जो where college students are not the customers. Maybe customer are someone who are living far away. So how then do we you know target them कि हमने ये कुछ बनाया है? How without spending money on that?
Excellent question. मैंने इनफैक्ट अभी आपसे बात की थी कि अगर आप मार्केटिंग से बहुत पहले आपको ये वैलिडेट करना है ना प्रमित, आपको पहले
Yes, sir.
कस्टमर की प्रॉब्लम भी है कि ये तो पहला क्वेश्चन आंसर करना है ना। तो टू आंसर दिस आप गूगल सर्च नहीं करोगे, यू हैव टू गो टॉक टू कस्टमर्स। तो कहाँ ढूंढोगे आप कस्टमर्स को? ये आपके कस्टमर्स कहाँ हैं? मैं आपको एक्सट्रीम एग्जांपल देता हूँ, एंड दिस इज अ रियल स्टार्टअप। ओके, कॉलेज में है, आप एक नया propulsion based jet engine बना रहे हैं जिससे rockets can consume half the fuel and reach, let's say, moon. ये आप बना रहे हो, ये आपके दिमाग में है, कुछ लैब में बनाया आपने, अब आप टेस्ट करना चाहते हो उसके कि ये कोई खरीदेगा कि नहीं मेरे इंजन को, किसके पास जाओगे आप?
सर जो लाइक हम इंजन यूज करते हैं,
ओके, जो रॉकेट इंजन बनाते हैं, यूज करते हैं, और किसके पास जाओगे आप? हैं कुछ स्टार्टअप्स जो कर रहे हैं,
या जो स्टार्टअप्स है ऑलरेडी, जो इससे रिलेटेड स्टार्टअप्स हैं कि उनका सेल्स कहाँ से आ रहा है, टू कनेक्ट
करेक्ट
आस्क
करेक्ट,
देम कि वो कहाँ बेच रहे हैं.
ओके,
यस सर,
और
आई डोंट नो वेयर वी कैन.
हाँ, थोड़ा इस पे रिसर्च करना पड़ेगा. यू विल गो टू इसरो, which is the Indian Space and Research Organization, which is an apex body, which by the way has a program to support startups. तो इतना आसान क्वेश्चन है, डिपेंड करता है आप क्या कर रहे हो जिंदगी में. आपको थोड़ा रिसर्च, सेकेंडरी रिसर्च कर, थोड़ा गूगल कर सकते हो इस बात पे, आप चैट जीपीटी कर सकते हो तो फिगर आउट अरे और स्टार्टअप्स क्या हैं, इसके पोटेंशियल कस्टमर्स कहाँ हैं, कहाँ बैठे हैं ये होमवर्क आपको करना पड़ेगा. ये होमवर्क करके आपको उनसे अपॉइंटमेंट ले, आप यू मे नॉट नो दोस पीपल, दे डोंट नो यू, यू डोंट नो देम, राइट? This is your test as
राइट.
a founder. This is your test as a founder. You have figured out कि इसरो जाना है मुझे. अब आप इसरो में किससे बात करोगे? मैं आपसे ये सिंपल चैलेंज देता हूं, आपको इसरो में 2 लोगों को इंटरव्यू करना है, आप कैसे करोगे? सोचो.
सर लाइक वी हैव टू, मतलब आपका ये क्वेश्चन है कि हाउ वी विल अप्रोच देम.
हाँ, यू बिल्डिंग समथिंग दैट लेट्स से इसरो माइट बी इंटरेस्टेड इन बाइंग, स्पेस एजेंसी है ना, आपके शायद इंजन वो खरीद ले वो. और वो आप
सर लाइक
इंटरेस्टेड होंगे, आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी में इंटरेस्टेड है कि नहीं ये पता करना है बिफोर मेकिंग द इंजन, यू वांट टू टेस्ट विद देम.
ये सर यही समझ नहीं आ रहा, यही प्रॉब्लम है कि उनको यही कैसे पता लगे.
हाँ, तो इसी थोड़ा इसमें ग्राउंड वर्क चाहिए, और इसमें सिर्फ ग्राउंड वर्क के अलावा कुछ नहीं चलेगा. आपसे एक एक आइडिया कनेक्ट करता हूँ आपसे. हमने बात की थी को फाउंडर लाने की, राइट? स्किल्स होने चाहिए, मिशन अलाइनमेंट होनी चाहिए. वन skill that I value a lot if I look for a co-founder, because some especially technology based founders, they're not so good at it, but there are some people who are great at networking. उनको बोलो भाई मुझे इसरो में कॉन्टैक्ट ढूंढ दो, वो एक्शन निकाल देंगे. वो लिंक्डइन करेंगे, अंकल को फोन करेंगे, अंकल के फ्रेंड को फोन करेंगे, वाइस चांसलर से बात करेंगे, डीन से बात करेंगे, सोशल मीडिया में जाएंगे, न्यूज़पेपर ऐड, दे विल फिगर इट आउट. Not everybody is cut out like that. Lot of people don't know what to do, घबरा जाते हैं. But these are doable things. थोड़ी मेहनत ज्यादा लगेगी. ये तो मैंने बहुत एक्सट्रीम एग्जांपल दिया आपको. Any startup that based on campus तो नॉन, वो तो ट्रिवियल है, राइट? सारे वहीं बैठे हैं, किसी से बात कर लो, फैकल्टी स्टूडेंट. Let's say you're thinking of building something, रियल स्टार्टअप बताता हूँ जो कर रहे हैं, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग स्टार्टअप है ये. You know, Delhi NCR में winters में we have the trouble from all the stubble burning.
यस सर, द लाइक द क्रॉप्स
क्रॉप्स,
पॉल्यूशन.
हाँ, तो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा आइडिया लिया है. उन्होंने कहा कि अच्छा, ये स्टबल जो फार्मर्स बर्न कर देते हैं, आप बर्न मत करो, हम आपसे खरीद लेते हैं. उस स्टबल से दे हैव क्रिएटेड पैकेजिंग मटेरियल्स. जो थर्मोकोल आता है ना, थर्मोकोल को रिप्लेस कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज थर्मोकोल बाय द वे कैन नॉट बी रिसाइकल्ड. दे हैव क्रिएटेड ऑर्गेनिक पैकेजिंग मटेरियल which is replacing thermocol. So all the TVs वगैरह वगैरह में यूज हो रहा है. So they're solving 2 problems. एक तो वो पैडी बर्निंग बंद करा रहे हैं. दूसरा, their solution is better than thermocol in terms of its strength and also the fact that it is organic. तो वो उसको रिसाइकिल की प्रॉब्लम नहीं रहेगी.
So Dharaksha Solutions.
How do you know them? अच्छा, वो
Sir,
Shark Tank
no,
में.
I also met them
Yes,
at
Dharaksha
Startup Marco
Ecosystems.
event.
अच्छा, they part of our, so I run a cohort for Aspire Labs, जिसमें वो मेंबर हैं हमारे.
They also
So
presented them at Startup Marco, I guess. So I met
they
them
वहाँ
there.
पे, हाँ, they were at Startup.com, they were on Shark Tank. So बिल्कुल ठीक बोल रहे हैं आप. जब उनसे आप बात करेंगे ना कि अरे आपने ये सोल्यूशन तो सोच लिया था आपने, आप ये कैसे वैलिडेट किया, they will tell you they had a hard time. They had to go to Samsungs of the world, they had to go to Lenskart of the world, to say अरे अगर आपको मैं alternate packaging material दो, will you look at it, आपकी need है कि नहीं. पर उनका थोड़ा इमोशनल साइड भी था, जैसे we whatever we're doing we're actually helping the environment, etc etc. बहुत मथा मारा उन्होंने. एक दिन 2 दिन नहीं, महीने लग गए उनको ये वैलिडेट करने में कि उनको कॉर्पोरेट्स को थर्मोकोल रिप्लेसमेंट की जरूरत है भी कि नहीं है. But they didn't know anybody. Nobody knew them. Sir, contacts. Today they have top corporates. Well, Shark Tank आने के बाद बहुत ही आसान हो गया. Now they send an email, okay, Tarada, you appeared on this episode. Yes, she got funding and also products and co-appointments मिल रही है. But listen, guys, there's no substitute for this hard work. You have to learn to figure out how to reach your customers to validate. अगर आप इसी स्टेज पे अटक गए तो कल को आप मार्केट नहीं कर पाओगे उनको. If you know how to reach them today, you can just to understand the problem. Tomorrow, when you have a solution, you can reach them to sell the solution. Okay? कोई मुझे फर्क बताएं इन दोनों में प्लीज.
So marketing is basically we are reaching out to customers and telling them what our product is, and sales is we are reaching out to customers in order to sell them what our service is. Marketing is just making awareness of that, but sales is actually selling what we are making awareness of.
Okay, can you give? Okay, good answer. Can you give me some examples? Can you give me an example of a marketing spiel and a sales spiel?
Yeah, sure, sir. Like marketing, basically we can also decide कि जैसे कि if I have to sell a book, then I can market to anyone if I want in the world. But if I want to make a sales, then I have to only market on to people who might be interested, who might be having like who are like book readers, or who might be having the same interest in the same topic which my book belongs to. So that's where the sales comes in. Because we can market to anyone, but that does not depend कि marketing will generate sales or not. If the customer is wrong, then the sales won't come.
बिल्कुल सही बोला. Great answer. Thank you. एक simple example. हाँ बोलिए बोलिए.
So marketing, I think, is about generating leads, and sales is converting those leads to actual revenue.
बिल्कुल सही बोला मोहित आपने भी. And actually, you guys are doing it. You may not realize it. आप जब अपना कॉलेज फेस्ट ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं एंड स्पेशली अगर आप उसमें कुछ पैसा मांग रहे हैं किसी से, यू नो पार्टिसिपेशन फी वगैरह वगैरह, आर यू नॉट मार्केटिंग? आर यू आल्सो नॉट डूइंग सेल्स? यू आर. यू मे नॉट नो इट. आप जो पोस्टर्स लगाते हैं, आप जो सोशल मीडिया में डालते हैं, मार्केटिंग है. आप एक्चुअली उसमें से आपके पास 100 लोग आते हैं, हर एक को आपने 100 रुपए की टिकट बेचनी है. दैट्स योर सेल्स. यू डूइंग इट. So you bang on as far as broad understanding is concerned. So let me. बिल्कुल ठीक बोला आपने. The challenge most startups have is because they are so convinced what they built is great. You know, the best cell phone, the best water bottle, whatever, best mouse that are out there. They don't invest enough in telling the world about themselves. Trust me, the world doesn't know you exist. आपको लगता है आपने वेबसाइट खड़ी कर दी, आपने सोशल हैंडल्स एक्टिवेट कर दिए. बाबा, there are millions and hundreds of millions of these things. मुझे किसी को नहीं पता क्या हो रहा है. You really have to work hard on building this awareness for yourself. बहुत ज्यादा करने की जरूरत है, स्पेशली इनिशियली. एंड आई टेल यू द इजी वंस एज अ स्टार्टअप. जो आपने स्टार्टअप को उनकी खुद एग्जांपल दिया आपने. easiest, cheapest, free marketing is through PR, which means आप अगर अपना न्यूज़पेपर्स में, योर स्टोरी में, शार्क टैंक में, स्टार्टअप इवेंट में, if you can go and stand in front of people, doesn't cost you money. That to me is great brand building. People will remember you. And sales, of course, आपने बिल्कुल सही बोला. लीड्स यहां से आ रही है, कन्वर्ट सेल्स कर रहा है. इज दैट इट? कुछ और भी होता है बिजनेस में. यू हैव टू जनरेट लीड्स, अवेयरनेस एंड लीड, एंड यू हैव टू क्लोज लीड्स. कुछ और होता है? तो ये आपने सेल कर ली, कस्टमर आ गया, उसके बाद
So retain those customers.
Customer retention.
Thank you. Excellent. You guys are really ahead of this. Absolutely don't forget. You have to retain, provide support and service so that customer stays, customer bring more customers and all of that. And like I said, you all are doing this today. You may not know it. Whether it is on LinkedIn or the way you apply, the way you're on Tinder, the way you are organizing fests, the way you're organizing and negotiating among yourself, there is a shade of marketing, there's a shade of sales. You just don't know it. Which is why I tell a lot of tech founders that मैंने कभी किया नहीं है. आपने किया है, आपको मालूम नहीं है आपने किया है. And maybe इतने aggressively नहीं किया है, possible है, but everybody is doing it. जैसे मैं pitching बोलता हूँ. Pitching actually is not just to investors. You're pitching every day. आप professors को, teachers को, parents को, friends को आप pitch कर रहे हो. You don't have pitch deck, but you're pitching every day. We'll talk about that in a pitching session. थोड़ा technical हो रहा है, but I want to explain this to you. How do you get customers? Simple. I'll keep the conversation simple. How do you get a paying customer when the world doesn't even know you exist? It starts by first generating interest. So many different ways of doing it, from SEO to social media to attending conferences. So much more out there. People start reckoning, हाँ ये है धरक्षा है, ये करते हैं, थोड़ा आपके बारे में buzz create होने लग जाएगा, थोड़ा familiarity बढ़ जाएगी लोगों की आपके बारे में. Then they start to talk to you कि possibly हाँ करते क्या हो, अच्छा आप ये करते हो, maybe I want to talk to you, maybe I want to buy from you. Then you have to engage with them. You have to tell them why your product is better, how they will say help them, improve their life, save money. कुछ आप testimonial दोगे customer को, तो kind of tell them that what they're dealing with is a credible solution. And finally आप सेल क्लोज करते हो. कई बार आपको डिस्काउंट वगैरह देना पड़ता है, राइट? आपको दिवाली डिस्काउंट है, वॉल्यूम डिस्काउंट है, जो भी है, आपको कोई डिस्काउंट देके यू हैव टू गेट द कस्टमर इन. ये स्टेजेस हैं. I want the customers in, of course. You have to have a lot of loyalty programs and customer retention happening. Friends, make this pyramid, the reverse pyramid, your friend. There's a lot of detail here. Detail में नहीं जा रहा, मैं concept पे आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ. You're in a world of strangers. How do you get some people interested in you? How do you have some people who want to probe a little bit more? And how do you people actually saying this sound good? Let me buy. And most importantly, how do they have these people keep coming back to you? अरे ये तो अच्छी चीज है. आज मैंने एक खरीदा, कल दो खरीदता हूँ. मैं अपने अंकल को बताता हूँ, कल मैं बताता हूँ. This is the magic of sales and marketing. You have to master it. There's no substitute. Okay, we are approaching end time. I want to make sure we are very clear. Please, any questions you want to ask anytime, please do. I have 4 asks of you. We are meeting on Saturday. All of you have your problem statement. I've seen them. Like I told you, some are crisper than others. Some are clearer than others. एक बार दोबारा देखिए आप अपने प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट खुद देखिए. Does it sound like a problem, sound like advice, sound like a solution? Number 1. Number 2, please identify, are you going to be B2C only, B2C and B2B? उस B2C के अंदर क्या segment है आपका, right? Is it children between the age of 5 to 12? Is it elders? Is it working adults? Is it car drivers? Is it cooks? Is it people who order food? Whatever that segment is. You identify not too many, 1 or 2 segments you want to focus on. And उस किसी एक segment का एक फिलहाल based on assumptions, I get it. आप validate नहीं कर पाओगे अभी. एक persona बनाइए. We'll give you the template for it. Who is the person? What is their age? Where do they live? What do they want in life? What are their aspirations? Psychographic जिसको बोलते हैं हम. What are the demographics? What are they trying to do with your? What problem are they having and all of that? And अभी जो last conversation थी, अभी we'll build a complete marketing strategy on this also going forward. But अभी we'll talk about जो I'm not sure किससे बात हुई, but बहुत solid question था वो. How do we reach customers? ये channel आपको थोड़ा सोच के आइए. अगर ये आपका segment है, college going kids, क्या channel होगा? बहुत आसान है. On campus, social media, बहुत आसान question है. अगर मैं थोड़ा complicate कर दूं कि you want to target people who are 40 to 50 or and looking for retirement solutions, थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा. How do you reach them? But it's possible. You can achieve it. Questions on these? करना क्या है हमें? Any question? And
Yes,
we'll come
sir, I
back.
have a question.
हाँ बोलिए.
So our product is basically an online service program.
Okay.
So we had an issue ki we have only researched and collected actual practical details in our college only. If because our service is basically providing a platform to improve their speaking skills. This is our main purpose.
Okay, and आपका target segment क्या है to improve speaking skills?
So the target audience, yeah, right? So the target audience is second is basically we are targeting people who are already having some issues. They're like social anxiety, who speaking in public, who, like even anyone who want to improve their communication skills. Basically, we try to the like Duolingo teaches people how to speak in different languages. So we decided to make a platform where like whoever is having issues with speaking or whoever is struggling to speak or struggling to make communication, so we did that for them. But turns out ki we are I don't think we are not limited to college students only, but we are limited to more people around or anyone who's struggling with speaking skills. This was our audience. But
बिल्कुल
we
ठीक है
have currently we have only research in our college ki to confirm ki okay सिर्फ college में तो है people who will be using this website if it exists once it rolls out. But sir अभी ये समझ नहीं है how can we do the same research out in the world?
करेक्ट तो एक्चुअली डुओलिंगो का एग्जांपल था मैंने मेंशन नहीं किया पर आपने बहुत दो तीन बातें बढ़िया बोली आई वांट एवरीबॉडी टू लिसन वेरी केयरफुली acquiring English speaking skills, right? That's what Chatterbox is about.
Sir, not just English, but we're starting on the thing.
Okay. अभी इंग्लिश की बात करते हैं. Acquiring English speaking skills is a big need for anybody, right? Whether वो student है, a job seeker है, somebody already employed and wants to grow in life, or homemaker है, doesn't matter. Agreed? आज की डेट में basic English skills की बहुत value है. Life, career, and all that. Social, personal side, social side, work side. Agreed. ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट आपकी सही है बट आप ओशन बॉयल करोगे और अगर आप सबके लिए सॉल्यूशन ढूंढने चले जाओगे बिकॉज अ होम मेकर सिटिंग इन आगरा will have a different need than a student who's studying in Delhi versus an IT professional who's working in Bangalore. कहने को सबको इंग्लिश सीखना है बट द अप्रोच द लेवल द ग्रैन्युलैरिटी सोफिस्टिकेशन डिटेल सब डिफरेंट है सो माय स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकमेंडेशन इज आप इवेंचुअली ओशन में चले जाना बट पिक योर इनिशियल सेगमेंट जहां पे आप इसको लॉन्च कर पाओ फिर धीरे 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 यू कैन एक्सपैंड इज दैट सेगमेंट कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स आई डोंट नो यू हैव टू टेक दैट कॉल और इज दैट समथिंग एल्स बट माय रिकमेंडेशन आप पहले तो सेगमेंट अगर देखेंगे आपके 10-12 सेगमेंट दिखते हैं मुझे आपके बिजनेस के डोंट गो आफ्टर 10 सेगमेंट यू कांट हैंडल इट narrow it down to 1 or 2 segments which are big enough, which will give you some initial data, but also easy to reach and easy to test with. Am I answering your question? तो अगर आप मेरे को एक एज एन इन्वेस्टर मेरे पास आ जाते हैं कहते हैं हम ये बना रहे हैं और हमने आज ये सेगमेंट से शुरू किया है और ये साइजेबल सेगमेंट इट्स नॉट छोटा आई थिंक इट्स ओके आई थिंक इट्स अ मोर प्रूडेंट अप्रोच that you're launching in a one segment, testing it, improving it, and then taking it to the others.
Yes, sir.
Which segment? Yes, your choice. That nobody
yes,
should
sir.
dictate.
Actually, we already decided कि okay, let's start with our college as well. कि यहाँ से शुरू करते हैं. We'll do this. Then we will expand in different colleges first. Then once we have enough data, once we have enough people, then we will roll out in the world. This
बिल्कुल ठीक है.
Exactly, you're exactly right.
तो उसको बट थोड़ा और डिफाइन करिए सी आप अपने कॉलेज का तो बहुत नैरो हो गया आप थोड़ा और बड़ा कर जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल यू कैन से आवर फर्स्ट सेगमेंट आर टेक्नोलॉजी बीटेक स्टूडेंट्स इन कॉलेजेस इट्स छोटा भी है और इतना छोटा भी नहीं है यू जस्ट कांट से स्टूडेंट्स इन माय कॉलेज वो थोड़ा वेग है और यू कैन से engineering students of year 1 and 2 because they are struggling whatever in colleges that are tier 2 to tier 3 थोड़ा उसको वेल डिफाइन कर लीजिए आप जो भी आपका टारगेट है
Got it, sir.
fair enough so that
yes,
it doesn't sound too छोटा it doesn't sound too big
yes sir
तो अब लेके आइए अपने सेगमेंट की डेफिनेशन उस सेगमेंट का एक पर्सोना बना के लाइए जो भी आपको नाम देना है टिपिकल पर्सोना जो मैंने आई शोड यू अंजलि कुमार यू कैन हैव व्हाटएवर यू वांट ये उनका प्रोफाइल है ये रिक्वायरमेंट्स है ये उनकी लाइफ है नॉट अबाउट इंग्लिश सो इफ यू नोटिस आई टॉक अबाउट द पर्सन एज अ लाइफ पर्सन एज अ लिविंग देयर एक्सपेक्टेशंस इन लाइफ and how will you reach them
okay sir
okay everybody else clear on this like I said we will give you a template the one I showed I'm going to send it to you through Saurav you will get it happy to take questions
So, uh, actually, sir, a startup which we are working right now, and it's basically a system which is an accident avoidance system. Like in case of fog, heavy fog होता है यमुना एक्सप्रेसवे पर, उस टाइम पर cars और bikes जो है आपस में टकरा जाती हैं. तो it's an accident avoidance system जिसमें सेंसर लगा रहेगा and it will detect अगर कोई आगे कोई कार है and वो राइडर को पहले वार्न कर देगा. तो it's basically two wheeler focus. तो प्रॉब्लम सर इसमें ये आ रही है लाइक अगर हम किसी कस्टमर को अप्रोच करते हैं तो लोग इंडिया में हेलमेट भी इसीलिए खरीदते हैं ताकि पुलिस को अवॉइड कर सकें. तो हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि हम उनको कैसे यकीन दिलाएं कि दिस सेंसर आप लेना चाहिए. लाइक सेफ्टी को सीरियसली लेता ही नहीं है कोई. तो ये प्रॉब्लम है सर.
बिल्कुल ठीक बोला. आपकी प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअली दो हो सकती है. अगर आप इसको एज अ कंज्यूमर B2C सोचोगे तो ये कंज्यूमर इशू है, माइंडसेट है, अवेयरनेस है. यू कैन आल्सो थिंक लाइक B2B कि व्हाई डोंट आई
हम लाइक हम अभी लाइक वी आर स्टार्टअप, वी आर स्टूडेंट्स, कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स. हमें B2B में अप्रोच करने में ये लाइक दे हैव प्रॉपर टीम्स, दे हैव प्रॉपर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, दे विल लाइक ईट अस अप. तो ये हमारा फियर है अभी. लाइक अगर हम उनके पास जाते हैं तो दे ईट अस.
आई थिंक चॉइस करनी पड़ेगी. देखो आपको इनिशियली तो पहले आइडिया टेस्ट करना है. आइडिया यू कैन इजीली टेस्ट. आई थिंक आइडिया टेस्टिंग विद कंज्यूमर B2C मेक सेंस. एंड आपका आइडिया इतना धांसू है, यू हैव टू प्रोटेक्ट इट, राइट? कॉपीराइट, पेटेंट, डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट यू डूइंग, हार्डवेयर है, सॉफ्टवेयर, जो भी है आपका. If you're well protected, then a call at some point will need to be taken that B2C की ये pluses हैं, ये challenges हैं. Challenges हैं कि mindset है, issue है, but volume बहुत है. That's one. The other is instead of selling it to a million B2C, we just go sell to Maruti. Maruti सब गाड़ी में लगा देगी. In one sale, we are done. Pluses minuses हैं दोनों तरफ. Just because you're a student does not mean you should not explore B2B. It's harder, but keep this in mind. It has pluses as well. However, like I said, to test and validate initially, up stay with the consumer space. And
Yes.
and consumers may, by the way, people who don't want to buy or certainly don't want to pay for this, think of a bundled solution. अगर ये हेलमेट में इंटीग्रेटेड हो, इसके साथ कुछ और आए, या वो कुछ लें उसके साथ ये फ्री मिल जाए, think differently.
Yes sir, actually it's a complete system जहाँ पे सेंसर के साथ साथ हेलमेट भी होगा एंड एक ऐप भी इंटीग्रेशन सिस्टम भी है जिसमें जो डेटा है लाइक पॉट होल्स हैं एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स जो रोड पर है उसका डेटा भी स्टोर होगा बैकएंड में और वो डेटा जो है इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज के साथ शेयर किया जाएगा. इट्स अ बेसिक लाइक इट्स इकोसिस्टम काइंड ऑफ थिंग.
करेक्ट.
काफी लाइक ब्रॉड
ठीक बोला बिकॉज इट्स इकोसिस्टम थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स है, तो मल्टीपल प्लेयर्स हैं इसमें, फ्रॉम ऑटोमेकर्स टू इंश्योरेंस टू GPS प्रोवाइडर्स टू ऑफ कोर्स द ट्रैवलर. तो देखना पड़ेगा कि हर एक पार्टी के साथ कैसे टेस्ट किया जाए. बट डोंट, मैं सिर्फ ये बोल रहा हूँ, इनिशियली मत घबराइए. इफ यू हैव टू सेल टू अ सैमसंग और an IKEA or a Maruti Suzuki, ISRO, doesn't matter. If that's really what you want to do, there are ways to do it. Don't worry. Okay. ये हम maybe next time करेंगे. Happy to take questions. Any more questions or comments? We will build on what we've done so far. Marketing खत्म नहीं हुआ है, segmentation खत्म नहीं हुआ है. I want to hear from you next time we meet. Please, if you're able to complete these exercises, come and talk. We will discuss, we will listen to each other, and then we will build on it.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Just like taking over the screen, sir, I'll just share a quick feedback form QR code with them so that they can just get the feedback as well. I would request everyone to please scan this thing, and maybe like it would be great if you can share your valuable feedback, because it will help us in like circulating and maybe like having these workshops accordingly in the upcoming sessions, and maybe like we can come up with whatever the best solution or feedback for the same. Yes, guys. And also I have circulated a form in the WhatsApp group that we have for the learning track, in which I have requested for all the details of the startup like the companies or the students who have already incorporated their startups and have raised some kind of a funding or something. So kindly just fill that form. It will be like it will help us in tracking your details and all. So if you can just give 2 minutes to that as well. And so I hope you have got to know like what your task is all about for the next workshop that we have on 4th of May, and it's on Saturday, and it's from 4 to 6 p.m. So like there is a timing difference. So I hope you will be joining on time, like because usually we have sessions from 5 to 7, but since it's a weekend, so we have scheduled it a little bit earlier. So yeah. Thank you, guys. We'll be circulating the mail for the upcoming workshop in the morning itself, and we'll also share the recording of this session as well. Looking forward to see you in the next upcoming workshop that we have. I hope you have completed the feedback form. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you. I really enjoyed the session. Thank you. And I'll see everyone Saturday. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Please complete your tasks. Thank you.